Hey everybody, what is up? It's your boy BX Off, and what I got for you guys today is a continuation of the greetings. But first, we're gonna do a quick review of what we learned in the last video. So first up is Ohio. Good morning, Ohio. If you recall in the video, I went over how this is the casual way of saying good morning. So you would say this to your friends, family, or close acquaintances. Ohio. Next, this is the formal way of saying good morning. You would say this to strangers, people in a position of power, aka a supervisor, senpai, etc. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Next, Konichiwa. Remember, this means good afternoon. You would say this in the afternoon after the morning. Konichiwa. Konnichiwa. Arigato. This is the casual way of saying thank you. So again, you would say this to your friends, your family, or close acquaintances. Arigato, which means thank you. Arigato. Now we have the formal way of saying thank you. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you. Again, this is the polite way of saying thank you. Arigato gozaimasu. Now we're moving into a new greeting. Konbanwa. This means good evening. So if you were walking into a convenience store and it is the evening, you'd say konbanwa as you walk in. Konbanwa. Konbanwa. Next is Sumimasen. Sumimasen, this means excuse me. It's totally appropriate to use this one right here if you bump into somebody. You could say sumimasen. If you want someone's attention, you could say sumimasen. Next is sayonara, or goodbye. Now, Japanese people don't really say sayonara. Little school kids will say sayonara to their teacher if they're leaving school for the day and they'll see them tomorrow or whatever, or the next day. But typically you would not really use this unless you're, okay, let's just say you made new friends in Japan, you're in Tokyo, and you're leaving to Kyoto. Then it would be appropriate to say sayonara because you're not going to see them for a while. And that's your way of saying goodbye. This is like the dramatic way of saying goodbye. Sayonara. Next is Oyasumi. Good night. Oyasumi. Good night. You could say this if you're telling somebody in your family or your friends, good night. You could even say this if, let's just say you're leaving an area, like you're out drinking with your friends and it's late at night and you're going your way. It's okay to say Oyasumi, like good night, I'll see you later. The next one is yeah. No, not at all. Yeah. No, not at all. Let's just say somebody tries apologizing for something that they did to you and it was not like, they're like Sumimasen or they're apologizing and it wasn't a big deal. You would just say yeah. No, not at all. The next one is itakimasu. I'll go and come back. Also, I'm leaving the area, or I'm off. Itakimasu. Itakimasu. The next one is Itarishai. That means you're like bidding somebody off, like good, like like take care, like please go and come back, like take care. Itarishai. The next one is tadaima. So if you're coming home, you would say tadaima. Tadaima. I'm home. The next one is okaranaisai. If somebody says tadaima, you're going to say okaranaisai. Welcome home. Okaranaisai. The next one is eti dekimasu. So this one is eti dekimasu. That means thank you for the meal, but you're also thanking like the people in the community that brought the food there. So it's basically giving thanks for the meal. So eti dekimasu. Again, etidekimasu means thank you for the meal, and thank you for it coming there. Gochisouma. Gochisoama. 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 Thank you for the meal after you've eaten the meal. Gochisoama. 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 The next one is Hajime mashite. How do you do? And you would use this greeting just once, like once you meet somebody. Hajime mashite. How do you do? You wouldn't say this like continuously to the same person. You just use it one time when you meet somebody. Hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. The next one is des, I am, or watashi. And the next one is Yoroshiko onegai ga shimasu. Nice to meet you. Yoroshiko onegai ga shimasu. Nice to meet you. Yoroshiko onegai ga shimasu. Yoroshiko onegai ga shimasu. Nice to meet you. You would somebody greets you, you would say that. Yoroshiko onegai ga shimasu. Itakimasu. I'm off, guys. Arigato gozaimasu.